50. That is the average number of safety recalls Forest River, the world's largest RV manufacturer, has issued per year over the last decade. 50 recalls a year. Not because of faulty parts from suppliers, because of human manufacturing errors on their own factory floor. Workers installing the wrong fuses. Furnace vents misaligned. Microwaves punctured by improperly sized screws. That is not a parts problem. That is a culture problem. And it was laid bare in a 2025 Wall Street Journal investigation that should have made every RV buyer on the planet stop and think before signing anything. But Forest River is not the only one. The global RV and caravan industry is dominated by two parent corporations, Forest River and Thor Industries. And between them, they own almost every mid-market brand you've ever heard of. The quality complaints, the warranty nightmares, the structural failures, the class action lawsuits, they are not isolated incidents. They are patterns, and today I'm naming them. 7 RV and caravan brands you'll regret buying in 2026, and 3 that are genuinely worth your money. I'm Liam. I'm 50. I've spent my entire adult life around recreational vehicles, workshops, and this industry. No sponsorships, no brand deals, nobody paying me a cent. Everything here comes from published recall data, federal court records, class action filings, Wall Street Journal reporting, Better Business Bureau complaints, independent consumer review platforms, and first-hand trade experience. Let's go. Number 7 is Coachman. Coachman is a subsidiary of Forest River, which is owned by Berkshire Hathaway, and it's a textbook case of a once-respected name sliding downhill under corporate ownership. Owners consistently report poor installation quality, drawers that come off their runners within weeks, slides that jam, stick, or leak from the first deployment, appliances that rattle loose during towing, awnings that fail, wiring that shorts. And when they call for warranty support, the experience is described over and over again as difficult, slow, and dismissive. Coachman's quality issues are not random. They mirror the exact same patterns seen across Forest River's entire stable of brands, because the manufacturing philosophy, the pay structure, and the quality control standards come from the same parent company. If the factory incentivizes speed over precision, every brand that rolls off that floor inherits the result. Number 6 is Heartland RV. Heartland produces luxury fifth wheels, toy haulers, and travel trailers, and it became a Thor Industries subsidiary in 2010. Since then, the quality complaints have been severe. Owners have reported structural issues serious enough that one customer's RV frame collapsed while driving. Frame damage, cracking fiberglass shells, fire incidents, and build quality that varies wildly unit to unit. Heartland markets itself as a premium step up from entry-level brands, and the pricing reflects that. But the failure rates don't match the promise. A frame repair costs between $1,200 and $5,000. And industry data suggests roughly 30% of units from high-volume manufacturers experience a frame-related issue within 3 years. That is not a warranty inconvenience. That is a structural question mark on a vehicle your family sleeps in. Number 5 is Keystone RV, another Thor Industries subsidiary and one of the biggest travel trailer brands in the world. Keystone moves enormous volume, and with that volume comes a pattern of complaints that independent repair shops describe as predictable. Water leaks, electrical problems, cheap interior materials, and components that begin failing within the first season of use. Keystone excels at packing features into a floor plan at an attractive price point, which is exactly why first-time buyers flock to them. But features and build quality are not the same thing, and the cost of fixing a leaking roof, rewiring a short, or replacing delaminating sidewall panels will eat up any savings you thought you made on the purchase price. If you're comparing a Keystone against a brand that costs 10 or 15,000 more but uses better materials and tighter construction, do the maths over 5 years, not 5 minutes. Number 4 is Thor Motor Coach, the in-house motorhome brand of Thor Industries, the largest RV manufacturer on the planet. Thor Motor Coach has accumulated over 400 reviews on the consumer platform Pissed Consumer, with an average rating of 1.5 stars out of 5. 1.5. Owners report a rough ride, persistent electrical faults, battery charging failures, hydraulic jack malfunctions, and braking system issues that have triggered multiple safety recalls. Several recalls have involved fire risk. Let me say that again. Fire risk. In a vehicle people sleep in with their children. Thor's scale should mean better quality control. It doesn't. Their scale means more units out the door, more pressure on production lines, and more corners cut to meet targets. The RV industry's biggest player is also, by the numbers, one of its least reliable. Quick favor before I hit the top 3, and stay with me, because number 1 is a story that should terrify every buyer on the planet. If this is helping, hit subscribe. It costs nothing, and it helps get this in front of someone who might be about to sign the wrong contract. On we go. Number 3 is Forest River as a parent company. Not just Coachman or any single subsidiary, but the manufacturing culture behind every brand Forest River produces. The Wall Street Journal investigation found that Forest River's compensation structure incentivizes quantity over quality. Workers are paid on production volume, not craftsmanship. The result is systemic quality control failures at a rate that dwarfs every other manufacturer. Forest River has logged 240 Better Business Bureau complaints over the same period that Winnebago logged 38. Adjusted for market share, that complaint rate is roughly 20 times higher. They are also facing multiple class action lawsuits alleging catastrophic frame failure in their fifth-wheel range. This is a company owned by Berkshire Hathaway, one of the wealthiest corporations in history, and they cannot build a recreational vehicle that holds together. The money exists, the will does not. Number 2 is Jayco, and I want to be specific. Jayco is owned by Thor Industries, and it operates in both the North American and Australian markets. In the U.S., Jayco generally sits above average for a Thor subsidiary, which is a low bar. But in Australia, the ACSAC, their federal consumer watchdog, has taken Jayco to court twice. First in 2017, for allegedly acting unconscionably toward customers with defective vans that had collapsing roofs and persistent water leaks. Then in mid-2025, for allegedly showing off-road models being towed through creek crossings and four-wheel drive tracks in advertising, while the warranty specifically excluded damage from those exact conditions. The ads showed the van doing things the warranty wouldn't cover. This matters globally because the same pattern, marketing capability that the warranty excludes, is not unique to Jayco Australia. If you are buying any RV marketed as off-road or all-terrain from any brand, in any country, read the warranty document word for word before you sign. Look for exclusions on unsealed roads, water crossings, and corrugated surfaces. If those exclusions exist, your off-road RV is not warranted for off-road use. And number 1, the brand that should serve as a warning to every recreational vehicle buyer on the planet is Zone RV in Australia. Caravans starting at $270,000, boutique, premium, handcrafted, and in December 2025, the whole operation collapsed, owing $42 million, now under criminal investigation by Australia's corporate regulator. Zone had been using customer deposits to fund its daily operations. Customers paid 5%, then 40%, then 35% in progress payments, with the final 20% on delivery. When the money ran out, people who had handed over six-figure sums were left with nothing. No vehicle, no refund, no recourse. Some lost their life savings. Zone is not just an Australian story, it's a global lesson. Any manufacturer in any country that asks for large stage payments before your vehicle is finished is using your money to build someone else's product. If they can't fund their own production, that is a red flag the size of a billboard. Never pay more than 10% as a deposit, and never make a progress payment without independent verification that the work has been done. Right. Now the three that are genuinely worth your money. Number 3 is Airstream. 93 years of continuous manufacturing. The iconic riveted aluminum shell uses no wood-framed walls, which eliminates the rot, delamination, and water damage that kills most mass-produced RVs within 10 to 15 years. Airstreams hold their resale value better than almost anything else on wheels. They are not cheap, they are not the most spacious, and they are not perfect. But the construction method means the thing that destroys most RVs, water getting into wood, simply cannot happen. That single advantage is worth every cent of the premium. Founded in 2012 by former Keystone executives who left specifically to build a better product, Grand Design has built a reputation for responsive warranty service, strong build quality, and a customer community that borders on evangelical. They are now owned by Winnebago, which has the lowest complaint rate of any major manufacturer. Grand Design sits in the mid-range price bracket, but consistently punches above it on quality. And their warranty team is known for actually answering the phone and actually fixing the problem. In an industry where warranty service is the #1 complaint across every platform, that alone puts them in rare company. And number 1, the brand I would put my own money behind if I wanted a travel trailer that would still be running in 20 years, is Oliver Travel Trailers. Hand-built in Hohenwald, Tennessee, Oliver produces roughly 100 units a year. Every trailer uses a double-hull molded fiberglass shell with insulation injected between 2 layers. No wood in the walls, no seams that can leak, no panels that can delaminate. The result is a 4-season trailer that is essentially weatherproof from the day it leaves the factory. A 10-year-old Oliver typically sells for 70 to 80% of its original price. Let me put that in context. Most mass-produced RVs depreciate to 30 or 40% of their value in the same window. Oliver holds at 80. That is not marketing. That is the second-hand market telling you exactly how good the product is. The current range starts around $69,000, and the wait list reflects the demand. If you can wait, wait. It is worth it. So the recap. 7 to regret. Coachman, Heartland, Keystone, Thor Motor Coach, Forest River as a parent company, Jayco's Off-Road Range, and Zone RV. 3 worth it. Airstream, Grand Design, and Oliver Travel Trailers. My honest takeaway, and it's the same one I always give, is this. The global RV and caravan industry has a quality crisis driven by 2 forces: corporate consolidation that prioritizes volume over craftsmanship, and a barrier to entry so low that anyone with a factory lease and a welder can call themselves a manufacturer. The brands that survive and the brands that are worth buying are the ones that resist both pressures. They build fewer units, they build them better, they stand behind them longer, and they don't need your deposit to fund their next pay run. Do your homework. Read the warranty. Check the recall history. Get an independent inspection. And never let a glossy showroom convince you that expensive means well built. Share this with someone who's shopping. It might save them everything. I'll see you in the next one. Check what's underneath before you check what's inside. This content reflects the presenter's honest opinions based on publicly available information, including government recall databases, federal court records, published investigative journalism, Better Business Bureau data, class action filings, independent consumer reviews, and first-hand trade experience at the time of recording. Individual experiences may vary. Always conduct independent research and seek professional advice before making any purchasing decision.